Life often feels bigger than what we can see. Sometimes we have deep feelings, strange memories or dreams that seem to come from another time. Many spiritual traditions teach that the soul does not live just once, but many times, growing and learning with each life. This journey of the soul is called reincarnation. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, spent much of his life explaining how reincarnation works and why it matters to each one of us. According to Edgar Cayce, our souls are eternal. He taught that we come back to earth again and again, not by accident but with a purpose. Each lifetime is a chance to learn important lessons, heal old wounds, and move closer to our true spiritual nature. Edgar Cayce said that understanding reincarnation helps us make sense of the joys and challenges we experience today. When we see life this way, everything becomes more meaningful and connected. Edgar Cayce's readings shared that the soul carries memories, talents, and even fears from past lives into the present one. Sometimes the people we meet and the events we go through are linked to unfinished stories from long ago. Edgar Cayce believed that by remembering these old connections, we can heal, grow, and live with greater love and wisdom. His teachings encourage us to look at our lives not with fear, but with curiosity and trust in a higher plan. The idea of reincarnation invites us to think of life as a long and beautiful journey, instead of a race with a beginning and an end. Edgar Cayce often said that death is not an end at all. It is simply a doorway to another chapter of our soul's adventure. Through prayer, meditation, and self-reflection, we can sometimes touch the hidden parts of our soul and remember that we have been here before. Edgar Cayce's message brings peace to the mystery of life and death. As we begin this journey into the signs that you may be a reincarnated soul, keep Edgar Cayce's gentle wisdom in your heart. His vision of life is full of hope, compassion, and endless possibilities for the soul. In the chapters ahead, we will explore the many ways that your soul might be speaking to you, reminding you that you are far older, wiser, and more beautiful than you know. Your soul's story is waiting to be remembered. Have you ever felt that there is more to you than what this life shows? Edgar Cayce taught that a reincarnated soul is a soul that has lived many lifetimes, carrying deep wisdom and hidden memories from each experience. According to Edgar Cayce, each of us is much more than the name we carry, the body we live in, or the story we tell. We are ancient travelers, moving through time, gathering knowledge and growing closer to the divine. A reincarnated soul often feels a longing for something more, a kind of homesickness that can't be explained by anything in this world. Edgar Cayce said that this feeling comes from the soul remembering its true home, a spiritual place beyond the physical earth. When we are born, we forget where we came from, so we can focus on the lessons of this life. But deep inside, the soul never forgets. Edgar Cayce believed that these hidden memories shape who we are and the choices we make. According to Edgar Cayce, reincarnation is not about punishment or reward, but about growth. Every lifetime offers new opportunities to develop qualities like kindness, patience, courage, and love. Sometimes the challenges we face are connected to lessons we didn't fully learn in past lives. In Edgar Cayce's teachings, every difficulty is a chance to heal, and every blessing is a reminder of past goodness. Seeing life through this lens makes every moment sacred. Edgar Cayce often explained that reincarnated souls sometimes carry talents, fears, or interests that seem to have no explanation in this life. For example, a child who plays the piano beautifully without lessons might be remembering a gift developed long ago. A fear of water could point to a past life involving the sea. Edgar Cayce's readings showed that when we honor these feelings and talents, we reconnect with the greater story of our soul. When we realize that we are reincarnated souls, life becomes a beautiful journey rather than a mystery filled with fear. Edgar Cayce's work reminds us that we are never lost even when we feel confused. Each life is a sacred step in a grand and loving plan. By embracing the idea of reincarnation, we begin to see ourselves, and everyone around us, with more compassion, patience, and hope. One of the first signs that you may be a reincarnated soul is having a wisdom that feels far older than your age. Edgar Cayce often spoke about souls who, even as children, showed deep understanding of life's mysteries. According to Edgar Cayce, this ancient wisdom comes from many lifetimes of learning, loving, struggling, and growing. It is a light within the soul that no amount of schooling alone can create. When a soul has lived through many experiences, it carries with it lessons, learned from centuries of human life. Edgar Cayce explained that this deep wisdom often shows up as a natural sense of right and wrong, or a quiet knowing about how to treat others with kindness and respect. Such people may not always have the right words, but their presence brings calm, comfort, and a sense of safety to those around them. According to Edgar Cayce, these wise souls are often misunderstood, especially when they are young. They might feel out of place among their peers, or find it hard to explain why they feel so strongly about certain things. Yet, their inner compass is strong and clear. They may be drawn to helping others, studying spiritual truths, or working for causes greater than themselves. Edgar Cayce believed this natural urge to guide and heal is a clear mark of a soul that has traveled far. Many old souls feel a quiet sadness or seriousness deep inside, even if their lives seem happy. Edgar Cayce taught that this feeling is not depression, but a gentle memory of the many lifetimes the soul has lived. It is a sign of spiritual maturity, a reminder that life is precious and that time should be used wisely. The soul knows that every moment offers a chance to learn, to love, and to move closer to the divine. If you have always felt older than your years, if you've offered wise advice even when you were young, or if you sense that your understanding of life goes deeper than most around you, you may be seeing one of the first signs of being a reincarnated soul. Edgar Cayce's teachings invite you to honor this wisdom, not as something strange, but as a beautiful gift from your long, sacred journey. Another powerful sign of being a reincarnated soul is having memories, dreams, or flashes of places and times you have never experienced in this life. Edgar Cayce often described how these memories are not imagination, but real echoes from our soul's long journey. According to Edgar Cayce, the soul never forgets where it has been, even if our conscious mind does. These hidden memories can surface at unexpected moments, reminding us that we are much more than this one lifetime. Sometimes, these memories come through vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life. Edgar Cayce taught that dreams are one of the ways the soul communicates with us, sharing pieces of its ancient story. A dream of walking through ancient streets, speaking a language you have never learned, or living in a distant land could be a memory from another lifetime. Edgar Cayce encouraged people to pay attention to such dreams, for they often hold clues to who we truly are. Other times, these past life memories come while visiting a new place. You might walk into a city you have never been to and feel an overwhelming sense of familiarity, as if you know the streets and the people. Edgar Cayce explained that strong emotional reactions to certain locations are often signs of having lived there before. This deep, unexplainable connection is a whisper from the soul, inviting you to remember. Edgar Cayce also spoke about spontaneous past life memories, especially in young children. A child might talk about events, people, or places with amazing detail, even though they have never been taught about them. According to Edgar Cayce, young souls are often closer to their memories because they have not yet fully settled into the forgetting that usually comes with human life. Listening to these stories with an open heart can reveal incredible insights. If you have ever experienced vivid dreams of another time, felt a strong bond with a foreign place, or sensed that your memories reach beyond this life, you may be witnessing the beautiful signs of your soul's many journeys. Edgar Cayce reminds us that these glimpses into the past are not accidents. They are sacred invitations to embrace the fullness of who we are. A very special sign that you may be a reincarnated soul is having a strong sense of intuition, that quiet voice inside that seems to know the truth before reason can explain it. Edgar Cayce often said that intuition is the voice of the soul, speaking from lifetimes of experience. According to Edgar Cayce, when we trust this inner knowing, we are tapping into the wisdom we have gathered over many ages of existence. Intuition can show up in many ways. You might meet someone and instantly feel whether they are trustworthy or not, even without speaking a word. Edgar Cayce explained that souls recognize each other beyond physical appearances, remembering bonds from long ago. When we listen to our intuition, We allow the soul's deeper memory to guide us toward the people and experiences meant to help us grow. Sometimes intuition warns us of danger or encourages us to take a leap of faith. Edgar Cayce taught that this inner guidance is not random. It is the soul's way of helping us stay true to our spiritual path. Many times, even if the outer world seems confusing, the quiet voice within knows exactly what we need. Edgar Cayce believed that strengthening this connection to intuition brings us closer to living a life full of meaning and purpose. Edgar Cayce also emphasized that meditation and prayer are ways to deepen our intuition. When we quiet the noise of the world, we can hear the subtle messages coming from our higher self. Over many lifetimes, the soul has learned many lessons, and it whispers this ancient wisdom to us when we take the time to listen. Edgar Cayce encouraged everyone to trust these gentle nudges, for they are the compass of the soul. If you often feel guided by a knowing that goes beyond logic, or if you have had moments where you simply knew what was right, you are likely feeling the voice of your reincarnated soul. Edgar Cayce reminds us that intuition is not a gift for a few. It is a natural part of who we are, carried across lifetimes and always available to those who are willing to listen. One of the more emotional signs of being a reincarnated soul is the deep feeling of not fully belonging to this world. Edgar Cayce often spoke about how old souls, those who have lived many lifetimes, sometimes feel out of place in modern society. According to Edgar Cayce, this sense of disconnection happens because the soul remembers other times, other ways of living, and even different spiritual values that do not always match the current world. You might find yourself questioning the way society works, feeling uncomfortable with materialism, or longing for deeper connections. Edgar Cayce taught that this restlessness is natural for those who have experienced many cultures, many lessons, and many ways of being human. The soul carries a memory of beauty, harmony, and truth from past lives, and it misses that deeper way of living. This yearning is not a weakness. It is a call from the soul to remember its true nature. According to Edgar Cayce, old souls often seek meaning in everything they do. They are not satisfied with surface-level friendships, empty conversations, or shallow goals. Instead, they long for authenticity, purpose, and connection with something greater. This search can sometimes make them feel isolated, but Edgar Cayce reassured that such feelings are actually signs of spiritual maturity, not signs of being broken or wrong. Sometimes this feeling of not belonging appears early in childhood. Children who are reincarnated souls might seem wise beyond their years, questioning the world around them in ways that surprise adults. Edgar Cayce pointed out that parents and teachers should listen carefully to these old souls because they carry important wisdom from many lifetimes. Recognizing and nurturing this sense of spiritual identity can help these souls find their path with greater peace. If you have ever felt like a stranger in the world, longing for a deeper connection to life and to others, you are not alone. Edgar Cayce reminds us that this feeling is a beautiful sign that your soul has walked many roads before, and that you are here now to bring light, healing, and wisdom into a world that deeply needs it. One of the most touching signs of being a reincarnated soul is the experience of instant connections with certain people. Edgar Cayce often explained that the souls we feel drawn to are rarely strangers to us. According to Edgar Cayce, these strong immediate bonds are often the result of shared experiences in past lives. Souls who have loved, struggled, or grown together tend to find each other again across lifetimes. Sometimes you meet someone and feel as if you have known them forever, even though you just exchanged a few words. Edgar Cayce taught that this feeling of deep familiarity comes from the soul's memory. Even if the mind does not recognize the person, the heart and spirit do. Edgar Cayce said that such meetings are never coincidences. They are part of a greater plan, a chance to heal old wounds, complete unfinished lessons, or experience joy once again. Not all instant connections feel easy or pleasant. According to Edgar Cayce, some souls reconnect to work through unresolved conflicts from the past. A difficult relationship can still be a sign of a deep soul connection. These challenging bonds push us to grow in forgiveness, patience, and unconditional love. Edgar Cayce encouraged people to view every important relationship as a sacred opportunity for healing and growth. Edgar Cayce also explained that soul groups travel together across lifetimes. Families, close friends, and even rivals might reunite again and again, helping each other learn important spiritual lessons. When we meet someone and feel instantly at home, or experience strong emotions without clear reasons, it could be a sign that our souls have danced together many times before. Recognizing these soul ties brings a deeper sense of wonder and purpose to our relationships. If you have ever felt an immediate bond with someone, whether through deep love, strong recognition, or even sudden tension, you may be experiencing the beautiful work of the soul across lifetimes. Edgar Cayce reminds us that every meaningful connection is part of our soul's long, sacred story, and that by embracing these relationships with compassion, we walk closer to our true spiritual path. Another clear sign of a reincarnated soul is a deep, often unexplainable fascination with ancient cultures and civilizations. Edgar Cayce spoke many times about how souls often feel drawn to places and times where they once lived. According to Edgar Cayce, this strong pull towards certain eras or lands is a memory carried within the soul, quietly reminding us of who we have been and where we have journeyed before. You might feel an intense interest in ancient Egypt, Atlantis, Greece, or other old civilizations without understanding why. Edgar Cayce believed that such passions are not accidents. They arise because the soul resonates with the energy of those times. Perhaps you lived there, worked there, loved there, or faced important spiritual lessons there. This emotional connection is the soul's way of nudging you toward remembering its timeless story. According to Edgar Cayce, this deep attraction can show up in different ways. Some may feel called to study the languages, philosophies, or religions of ancient peoples. Others may feel at home when visiting ancient ruins, sensing an invisible familiarity in the stones and air. Edgar Cayce taught that these experiences are sacred clues, leading us to reconnect with lost parts of ourselves that can offer wisdom and healing in the present. Sometimes talents and skills also come from these past lives. A natural gift for healing, architecture, art, or philosophy may trace back to lifetimes spent in thriving ancient cultures. Edgar Cayce encouraged people to explore these passions as they can reveal the special gifts the soul has carried forward. When we honor these inner callings, we strengthen the connection to our soul's deepest purpose. If you find yourself deeply moved by the stories, mysteries, and wisdom of ancient civilizations, know that your soul is speaking. Edgar Cayce reminds us that through these connections to the distant past, we awaken parts of ourselves that have been quietly waiting to shine once again in this life. An important and sometimes painful sign of a reincarnated soul is the presence of fears or phobias that have no clear cause in this life. Edgar Cayce often explained that many of our deepest fears are not random, but are echoes of past life experiences. According to Edgar Cayce, when a soul faces trauma in one lifetime and does not fully heal, the emotional memory can carry over into the next life. For example, someone who has an intense fear of drowning, yet has never had a near-drowning experience, might be remembering a past life where water was connected to a tragedy. Edgar Cayce taught that these fears are the soul's way of signaling unfinished healing. Rather than something to be ashamed of, he encouraged people to see these emotions with compassion and curiosity. By facing them with love, we help the soul to heal and grow. According to Edgar Cayce, these past life fears often show up very early, sometimes even in childhood. A child may have a strong fear of heights, fire, darkness, or enclosed spaces without any trauma in their current life. To explain it, Edgar Cayce believed that when we recognize these fears as part of the soul's journey, we can begin to gently release them through prayer, understanding, and patience. Facing these fears does not always require remembering the exact past life event. Edgar Cayce taught that the soul knows what needs to be healed, and that setting the intention to forgive, to release, and to grow is often enough. Therapy, meditation, and energy healing are also powerful tools that can help ease these deep-seated fears. Edgar Cayce emphasized that true healing always comes through love for ourselves and for the journey our soul has traveled. If you have carried unexplainable fears throughout your life, know that you are not alone. Edgar Cayce reminds us that these hidden pains are signs of the soul's courage, a courage that has faced death, loss, and hardship, and still chooses to grow and love again. With patience and kindness, you can help your soul complete its healing and move forward with greater freedom and light. One of the most mysterious signs of being a reincarnated soul is the experience of déjà vu, those strange moments when you feel you have already lived a situation before. Edgar Cayce often spoke about déjà vu as a true glimpse into the soul's memory. According to Edgar Cayce, these flashes of familiarity are not coincidences, but reminders from the soul of its many journeys through time and space. Déjà vu can happen anywhere, while walking down a street, hearing someone speak, or visiting a new place. Edgar Cayce explained that when the soul encounters something similar to a past life memory, it can trigger a sudden feeling of, "I have been here before." These moments are gifts, showing us that the soul carries within it a timeless memory, far deeper than the conscious mind can understand. According to Edgar Cayce, frequent déjà vu experiences often point to lifetimes spent in similar places or situations. If you feel instantly connected to a town, a house, or even a certain group of people, it may be because your soul once lived, loved, or learned there. Edgar Cayce encouraged people to honor these moments, treating them as sacred hints from the spirit world about the larger journey they are living. Sometimes déjà vu can also carry important spiritual messages. Edgar Cayce taught that certain key moments in our lives, meetings, opportunities, challenges, are planned by the soul before birth. When we experience déjà vu, it might be a sign that we are exactly where we need to be. Edgar Cayce said that recognizing these moments helps us move forward with greater faith, knowing that our path is guided by wisdom, far beyond what we can see. If you often feel that life is strangely familiar, even when you are stepping into something new, you may be feeling the voice of your reincarnated soul. Edgar Cayce reminds us that déjà vu is a beautiful confirmation. You are not lost. You are on a path your soul lovingly helped create long before you even arrived here. One of the clearest signs of a reincarnated soul is having a strong sense of life purpose, even when the path isn't fully clear. Edgar Cayce often emphasized that souls who have lived many lives carry with them a deep inner drive. According to Edgar Cayce, this feeling of mission is the soul's memory of its long journey toward growth, service, and spiritual fulfillment. You may have felt, from an early age, that you were meant to do something special, to help others, to create, to heal, or to teach. Edgar Cayce explained that such feelings are not illusions or ego fantasies. They are real echoes from past lives where your soul developed talents and promises that are still alive within you. That inner pull toward purpose is the soul urging you to continue its sacred work. According to Edgar Cayce, many reincarnated souls choose to return to Earth not just for their own growth, but to assist others. These souls often feel a responsibility toward humanity, the planet, or the spiritual awakening of others. This can feel overwhelming at times, but Edgar Cayce reassured that every small act of kindness, healing, and love contributes to a much larger divine plan. Your purpose may be grand or it may be humble, but it is always important. Edgar Cayce also taught that a strong life purpose often survives through many incarnations. If you were a healer, a teacher, or an artist before, your soul might choose to continue developing those gifts now. Even if you don't yet know exactly what your mission is, Edgar Cayce encouraged trust. Your soul already holds the blueprint, and life will reveal it step by step. Listening to your heart and your intuition will guide you toward fulfilling what you came here to do. If you feel a constant longing to live meaningfully, to help others, or to express something deep within your spirit, you are hearing the call of your reincarnated soul. Edgar Cayce reminds us that this sense of purpose is a precious sign of the soul's maturity, a quiet testimony that you are not new to the dance of life. You are an ancient light, shining again in a new time. Now that you've walked with me through the signs of a reincarnated soul, you hold a powerful key in your hands: awareness. Edgar Cayce taught that knowledge of the soul's journey should awaken in us a greater love, a deeper compassion, and a stronger commitment to live with purpose. Your soul's path is ancient, sacred, and full of light, and today you are one step closer to remembering who you truly are. Edgar Cayce often reminded us that life is a beautiful opportunity to heal, grow, and serve. Every new day is a chance to listen to your soul's whispers, to trust your intuition, and to move forward with courage. By embracing your spiritual heritage, you are not only healing yourself, but also becoming a source of healing for the world around you. Your presence here matters more than you know. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Join our community of awakened souls who are ready to walk this path together. When you like and subscribe, you help this message reach others who are also seeking to remember their true selves. Let's grow and shine together, guided by the timeless wisdom of Edgar Cayce. Thank you for being part of this journey. Keep trusting your soul, keep walking your path with faith, and remember, your destiny is waiting, and dare to rise and claim it.